you want to get into FPV. You started watching the videos on YouTube and fell down the rabbit hole, or you ran into me at the park, saw me flying my drone, and I sent you to this video. So the first thing that you're going to need is a radio. It's tempting to get kits and all sorts of stuff out there, but the real thing is that you're going to have to figure out if FPV is for you. And you're not going to know if FPV is for you until you start, trying to fly. And if you try to fly right off the bat, you're just going to break everything. Even once you do feel comfortable flying, you're still going to break everything. Or at least if you're like me, you will. I broke like 5 drones starting. You're going to need a radio so that you can play simulators. There are quite a few simulators, and I'm going to talk about those in another video, but simulators will basically give you the right off the bat where you plug your radio into the simulator, you calibrate it, you start playing, and you're going to be like, I'm crashing. And it's gonna be like, oh, I gotta figure this out. This is so cool. This is so weird. And it's like you're gonna learn how to fly, and you're gonna love it, or you're gonna do it and you'll be like, oh, I'm getting like car sick or motion sickness, or like I'm gonna have a seizure. This is not for me. So that's why it's so important to just start off with a radio and simulators. It's tricky because there's so many things from top of the line to bottom of the line, and you don't want to get garbage. And you don't want to get stuff that's too expensive, especially if you're not going to use it. So like my biggest recommendations are these. This is the Jumper T-Lite, and this is my #1 recommendation, just because to me this is the cheapest high quality radio that you can get. It's around like $80 Canadian, and for an extra like around $140, $50 with Happy Model Express LRS module. There's different systems. So this is Express LRS, which basically is one of the newest systems, and it's one of the cheapest systems. It's open source, so it keeps getting better, and it's just this combo. You can just get the radio, but if you buy the radio with the module, you get this combo together, and that's, to me, the best way to go instead of having to get it all separately. Even though you'll need this more later, it's just nice to get it together. It's the best deal you're gonna get on a module with a radio. I knew that I was really gonna be into it, so I went with something. This is called the Tango 2, and it's probably one of the most popular radios, especially this style of radio. It's like a game controller. And for me, I'm flying little drones, sub 250, and I like the idea of FPV being small. I can take these and put them in my backpack. If you wanted, you could get one of the larger radios, but I find that the larger radios are more for the people that started long time ago and are used to using big radios and pinching them, because there's these styles you can thumb or you can pinch. And lots of them like to pinch and let it hang there and whatever. And you can still let this one hang and pinch if you want, but I like video games, and I think the whole idea of like flying, it's like a video game. These game style controllers are great. The Tango 2 in Canadian dollars is about $250, so it's a lot more money to spend. You are getting something that feels a bit more solid, but honestly, I like the way this radio kind of feels when I'm flying. It's lighter. The sticks here on this one are a little bit shorter, so I actually like how that feels. But the sticks here on this one, they're slightly longer, and they're a bit softer, so it's like I like kind of how that feels. To me, this is the radio that I recommend to anyone to get. There's the systems that you're gonna have to learn about, but the main ones are like Tracer, Crossfire, Express LRS, and they're all just kind of different systems. So the Crossfire system, which is built into the Tango 2, it is very good for long range, and it's just one reliable connection. But every time that you build a drone with the receiver for it, you're gonna have to spend like $40, $50 Canadian on the receiver that you plug into the drone, and it has an antenna on it. With this one, every time you buy a receiver, they're like $20, and they have a little antenna built into them. So it's just nice because you don't have the wires. It's just tiny. to fly with this one is that big. So on a tiny little drone, it weighs nothing. It doesn't have any like antennas hanging off the drone that you have to like worry about getting chopped off or anything. So it's just for beginners. I highly recommend getting the Jumper T-Lite, and there's two versions. There's the version that's just one, and there's a 4-in-1 module inside it. So I would get the one with the 4-in-1 just in case. It just means that you'll be able to fly all the tiny little toy drones just kind of automatically with this one. But you get it with the Happy Model module for Express LRS, and this just makes this controller so much better. It becomes something that you'll be able to use easily with the simulators. It's not too expensive, and you'll be able to use it when you fly drones. So I highly recommend this for you as a beginner. I have links underneath in the description for the radio on its own if you wanted to do that, or the radio with the module. I highly recommend the radio with the module. Those links are affiliate links, so when you purchase them, it doesn't cost you anymore, but it just helps me out a bit for helping you. You know, it's fair. Also, there's a link to Honey, and if you're on a desktop, it doesn't work that great on cell phones, but if you're on a desktop and you use that link to download the Honey app, you put that into your desktop, and then when you're shopping off of Banggood to get these, you're going to be able to use the Honey, and it's going to generate codes, and you're going to be able to get a discount when you buy these. And everything that you buy on Banggood, you'll end up getting a couple bucks off here, a couple bucks off there. So I really love using Honey and Banggood. You just get the best price possible. It doesn't come with a battery. The battery you'll have to, the battery I recommend is also down in the description. So you'd have to order this with the module and the battery. Don't forget to use Honey to get your discount. And the battery that I suggest, it fits perfectly, but you'll just have to kind of pull the tab out a bit. But I made videos about that. Once you get this controller, just go through all the videos that show you how to set this controller up and everything. And in the next video, I'm going to show you all about simulators, the ones that I have, what I recommend, and let you see them for yourself so that you can kind of choose and whatever. So like this video, please, it helps me a lot, and happy flying, or happy learning how to fly.